Okay, we are heading to the beach for, hopefully, sunset. Today was going to be my first motorcycle vlog. However, it rained for most of the day and it finished, well, I guess it finished raining around 4 o'clock or so. And see, here in Florida, when it rains, we don't get a few sprinkles. We get heavy downpours, as you can still see some of it on the road. And then it puddles on the roads, and then, you know, cars splash you, and it's rather unpleasant. I've been caught in the rain the last 4 times I've taken the bike out. So I didn't feel like that today. So I watched some baseball, go Angels, and I did some house projects around the house and things like that, and otherwise entertained myself. So I decided to go to see sunset at the beach, and so I just hopped onto the scooter and away I went. And that's why I like the scooter, it's just ready and go. So, yeah. This is one of my favorite parts of the trip over to the beach. Absolutely gorgeous during beautiful sunny days here. Let me just get back into the traffic lane. Okay. So what now? What do we talk about? Let's talk about motovlogging. So why do I want to be a motovlogger? Well, as I may or may not have mentioned in one of my previous ones, perhaps one of the ones that didn't quite cut the mustard, so to speak, I've actually been blogging, text blogging on the internet for about 10 years now, basically because I spent 13 years living abroad, and the first country that I lived in did not have good internet access at that time, and so I would just, write up like a weekly journal or whatever, and I'd put that on the internet for my family to read. And then that sort of blossomed into actual blogging, and then I became a blogger, and I had blog friends, and we had blog meetups, and everything else that goes with blogging nowadays. And so I figure, motovlogging, I'm on 2 wheels, something that I totally love, and I can share this with them too, because most of them don't ride, or the ones that do ride don't currently have anything to ride, I should add. Wow, this intersection's actually green. The light's usually red here. It's amazing. So anyway, yeah, that's why I'm interested in motovlogging, so I can share my experience on 2 wheels with other people. It's not really about subscribers or, whatever else, sponsorships or all that other stuff, because I really don't care about all that. I have a job, and that supports me, and that's fine. This isn't a job for me. This is fun for me. And if it ever becomes not fun, then I won't do it anymore. But until then, this is what I'll be doing. Yes, here comes the roundabout. I love this roundabout because most people have no idea what they're doing on it, and it can be rather interesting at times. Both lanes go around, and at one point you can exit in both lanes, but people don't realize that, and that gets confusing. And then there's this right here. We have to clear the way for people going around again or going to one of the minor roads. It's actually a lot of fun. I love this roundabout. And then there are the pedestrian crossings. This one right here has crossing lights, and it's the only one that does. The others don't. So you have to stop for the other ones, but you don't have to stop for that one. But most tourists don't realize that you don't have to stop for that one, because apparently they're too, I was going to say they're too stupid to see the walk signs, but they're not. They see those. They just refuse to use them. So, and here we are at the beach. Go ahead. Yes, this is Clearwater Beach, and this is one of the, it's been recently voted one of the best, well, Clearwater has been recently voted one of the best beach cities in the country. So we're pretty proud of that. I'll pick it up in a bit. Okay, we are heading back to North Beach now. Well, not back to North Beach. We're heading to North Beach, I should say. Hopefully we'll get sunset there. Hopefully the clouds won't obscure it or anything like that. I can easily make it in time. It's not too far. Just go back around the roundabout and straight and down a bit into the residential area, and then we're there. It's actually easier than it sounds. Now, I'd like to address something that the Dirty Hornet said. He's a fellow motoblogger who lives probably about 25 miles north of me. He said that he notices that people don't wave in Florida or in this area, or perhaps just his area, when they're on bikes. And I took him to task at that because I find it's just the opposite. I mean, I'm even on a scooter right now, and you know, a lot of motorcyclists might not wave at a scooter, but well, okay, it's not actually waving, it's pointing your fingers down with two fingers down to say keep both wheels on the road. Okay, so that's more or less the same thing because it's a sign of respect. And I've had, let's see, a Harley rider do that to me today, and two sport bike riders. Well, not even today, in the last, 15 minutes or so. And those are really the only people on two wheels I've seen. So perhaps it's just his area, rather than the entire metropolitan area. I'm not really sure if his is considered in the metropolitan area or not. But to me, that hasn't really been a problem. And what are these people doing? Oh. They're crossing illegally and mucking up traffic. Little do they know we don't need any help mucking up traffic because we can muck it up ourselves. Let's see, and ahead of me is the marina. And you can take boat tours from there. Like whale watching cruises or sunset cruises or things like that. There's a hotel up there with I guess a nice sunset bar that I've never actually been to. Someday. I look at it this way. I mean, I'm going to be living here for a long time, so I don't have to do everything immediately. I guess that's something else to talk about. I've only lived in Florida for just over a year now. But I've lived in several different places, including 2 other countries. And it took me this long to find Florida. Sorry, I was distracted by that guy's exhaust. It took me this long to find Florida, but I'm glad I eventually made it here because I love it here. I absolutely love it here. Okay, that Harley guy didn't wave or put the fingers down to me, but that's okay. Yeah, anyway, so I'm glad I found it here, because then I got to experience other parts of the country and other parts of the world, and had I come to Florida immediately, then I would have missed out on all that. So, took me a while to get here, but I am extremely glad I'm here. To tell you how happy I am that I'm here, I'll give you a sort of example. When I'm unhappy, well, not unhappy, but when I'm dissatisfied with where I live, I like to travel. I mean, I like to travel anyway, even when I'm satisfied with where I live, but when I'm dissatisfied with where I live, I look for any excuse to get away for the weekend or whatever period of time I can. Well, here, I have not left the metropolitan area, but that's not true. I haven't left Florida since I moved here. And it's not only because it's a long drive to get out of Florida from here, but it's because I love Florida. I mean, I love living 3 miles from the beach. I'm actually only a mile from the marina, so I'm a mile from water. I love my little house. I have a very nice little house. I love the weather, but the winters are a bit too cold for me here. I mean, Hawaii would be the perfect weather for me to live in, but then, you know, my house would have cost me like $300,000 more, so Florida's fine. I mean, I really, really like it here a lot. So this is the party area, so to speak, just off the beach. The cheaper eateries are on the west side, and the more expensive eateries and bars are on the east side. And Hulk Hogan does have a beach shop here. I don't know if you can see that or not, or the statue of him. And he comes here from time to time, and you have to pay like $100 to be able to meet him on the second floor for the private whatever it is. I don't know what that crap is. I don't go to it. I'm not going to pay $100 to meet someone, no matter who he is. Let's see if we can get ahead of this Suburban, since they seem like they don't really know what they're doing or where they're going. We might not be able to make it to North Beach, but we will make it to the beach for sunset. Well, okay, if the clouds let us, we'll see it too, but that's another story. Nope, the clouds are not going to let us see it tonight. That's a dive bar that I've always wanted to go to, but I've never been to. When you come down here during the day, all these parking spaces are filled because everyone drives to the beach. And I don't come here by car to the beach ever. Well, unless there's a reason that I have to bring the car here, like if I'm at a garage sale, which I rarely go to, but you know, from time to time I might stop. And there's something too big to fit on the scooter, then I'll go home and get the car and come back. But no, I do not drive the car to the beach because there's no parking. And that's what's great about a scooter. Now, don't get me wrong, a motorcycle is not horrendously difficult to park. I mean, no one's going to look at a 700cc motorcycle and say, oh my goodness, I can't have one of those. I have no idea where I'd park it. Okay, let's get real. No one's ever going to say that. But a little scooter like this, you can park just about anywhere. And in addition to that, shall we say, little scooters like this are afforded privileges that are not open to people in other types of vehicles sometimes, such as going down lanes that are not supposed to be gone down, or Going to places that should not, that are mainly for pedestrians. Now, there's not a lot of that around, but there is some of it, and so I take advantage of it. So, there's no reason to come to the beach on the motorcycle when I'm not going to get out of first gear and just put the wear and tear on it. Okay, we are almost here. I'll go right up here with these bicycles. Hey, they didn't leave me a space this time. And let's see if we can see sunset. No sunset today.